welcome to the channel. This is Row Queen YGO. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you what I've been cooking up, a Mitsurugi Nouvelle deck list. You will see the deck profile, test hands, and the deck going against another player's deck, which will be Lunar Light, which at the moment seems to be, it could be a decent deck and an idea to give you what this deck can do. So let's jump straight into this and go into the deck profile. Okay, so this is my Nouvelle Mitsurugi build. You have 4 1-card starters in this deck. Yes, the deck card loses to Droll and Dimensional Barrier, as most monsters you're summoning are rituals, but I think it makes up for it in its build and how it works. So, Mitsurugi starters, as everyone knows, is Prez and Habakiri. Now, for the Novelles, you have Angry Burger, which is similar to Havakiri, as in you reveal it, add a Novelle monster from deck to hand, however you shuffle this card back in. And then the other card starter for this deck is Culinary Consultation. Now, this card is a great card to get you set into your Novelle plays, as you summon one of the Pendulum decks. Now we have a new Pendulum, Chef de la Nouvelle, and of course the old favourite, the level 1 Pendulum monster that got you into your plays with the deck when it came out as secondary support for this deck. And then of course you summon the fusion monster that came out separately from the whole sets, which when it first came out people were confused as what does this card do. So this card summons either one to your opponent's side of the field and one to your side of the field. You choose which one it goes. Yes, if you do summon the fusion, you can put it in your opponent's extra deck monster zone, so keep that in mind when going against stuff like Malice and other decks that like their link zones. You can basically stop them using their link zone for a little bit. So, just bear in mind when you do use Culinary Consultation, you cannot summon monsters from the extra deck. But that is fine, because I find with these decks, you don't really go into your extra deck that often. But it's just safe to know. Remember, you cannot go to your extra deck. Kind of similar to what people play with the Dogmatica engine in this. But I digress. So, depending on your hand, when you are using Culinary, you either add her or him to your field. And then, of course, put the fusion on your opponent's field. Always in attack position. Now, the one issue Nouvelle had when Nouvelle first came out was the fact of all the ritual monsters to ritual summon into the higher levels need an attack position monster, so you would put them in defense if you're going against Nouvelle. Now, with the recipe book, while you have a Nouvelle monster on field, all monsters your opponent controls have to be in face-up attack position, which means they can no longer put them in defense. Doesn't matter what Nouvelle monster you have, they have to be in attack position. Now, the reason this deck works together, and I know people are going to look at me like, why? How does this work? Well, it's all to do with this book. This book states, once per turn, if you special summon a ritual monster, you can target said ritual monster to then add a recipe or a Nouvelle card from deck to hand. Now, this does state you can't add itself, but that is fine. But as soon as you go into your Mitsurugi ritual line, you can then add one of your ritual monsters for Nouvelle, or the ritual spell. Now, that is handy to know. And it specifically states Nouvelle card, which means you can even get your field spell to your hand. So, another good thing with this deck, with the table, if you have a ritual monster in your hand, say a second Habakiri, and you've already done the effect reveal for this turn, and you want to send it back to deck, the table does that for you. You can basically reveal, have a ritual monster put to the bottom deck, draw one. So this will continue get your resource, plus table allows you to target a recipe card and one other card in your graveyard and put them back to the deck. You then have the level 4, which targets 3 cards. This is either graveyard, so if your opponent has annoying graveyard effects and you want to get rid of them, or you know they're going to go into stuff with their graveyard, you can shuffle them back in for them before they can use them. Also, you can shuffle your stuff back as well. So this is a general rundown of it. So I personally don't play the level 1 or level 2 of the novels. The only reason I don't play them is the level 1's only really good if you're playing pure, as its ritual summon effect is you get to reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. If there's a Nouvelle card, add it to your hand. When you're playing pure, that is great because you know you're going to have the Nouvelle cards in there to add to your hand. But not in pure, you're not going to. The only reason I play only the meat recipe is the fish recipe can be ashed. Even if you are not doing the level 1 summon, it is still ashable due to its card reading. Whereas the meat recipe cannot be ashed, which is why I don't play it. I play one each of the pendulum monsters only because of the fact I have the level 5 plus book search effect as well as culinary confrontation. I don't see the point of playing multiples when I'm going to get a big board anyway with the ritual monsters on my field. Now, the good thing with the Mitsurugi is the non-ritual monsters are if they are tributed. Now, you can use these to summon your novels when you're normally ritual summoning them using the ritual, which of course then triggers their effects to get you your bits and pieces, which is really good. So, I will show you in this video how this deck is meant to work. As you can see by the extra deck and the side deck, this is not a complete deck. This is a first build of it. It's an idea I came up with and I thought would be fun, and it seems to be doing pretty well. I had fun at my locals with it on a casual day. I'm going to be taking it to our main event on my locals and see how it goes. I will report back how it went. But like I said, this is a first draft. There's going to be teething issues, there's going to be things I'm going to need to change, but I will get into it after this of how this deck is meant to play. So, as you can see, this is a starting hand for testing out this deck. So, we have as master, at table, the level 5 Nouvelle, and mirror. So, we will start this off with at table. Now, the reason I'm starting with that table is if my opponent ashes this, I don't mind if they ash the first effect. So, if they don't, I will show you how this goes. So at table. At table effect adds you a recipe card. Now, with this hand, I am going to add the book to hand. I will then activate the book. Book does nothing on activation, but it is there. I will then normal summon, declare effect. This is then going to add me Habakiri. I'm then going to declare Habakiri's effect, reveal it to my opponent obviously. I will then summon Sanjin and tribute Sanjin. Declare Sanjin effect. This is going to add, when I find it, there it is, ritual to hand. Now I'm going to summon Habakiri from hand using ritual, sending cards to the graveyard. So I will be sending him to grave. No, you're going to grave, you're not hand, thank you. My misclick. And to grave, which will then special summon to grave. Now we have a few card effects going off here. So declare book and declare the purple Mitsurugi monster in graveyard. So purple Mitsurugi monster is going to add us the ritual spell back to hand. Bear in mind, we still haven't got the summon from deck done. And then this is going to add us a ritual spell. So I'm going to add speed to hand. Now this is once per turn. It will be targeting the Habakiri, making it a level 9. So I will then activate ritual spell, sending Habakiri to grave to summon one from deck. I will be summoning I will summon purple. Declare Habakiri's effect. Habakiri is going to add us prayers to hand. Okay. And then, of course, Habakiri is then going to summon itself back. So this then goes to grave. Now, I am then going to, using the ritual spell, tribute this one to grave to special summon the level 5. Now, this level 5 has not got its effect live to quick effect go into the level 6. Just bear that in mind. So I'm going to declare I will be adding, let's add chef to hand, and then of course this one will bring itself back but also declare its effect to then add, let's go with this one to hand, and then of course it brings itself back. So I will then press to take damage. I am not using both effects, so I will not be adding. So I will take the damage. To summon back Sanjin. Now I currently am not locked out my extra deck, so I am going to overlay into and then move into Attic Nista. Now this card I can detach and ritual summon one monster from my hand by choosing monsters from my hand or field whose total level equals or exceeds the card I am summoning. So for this I'm going to send my level 5, so I'm going to detach. This would be engraved. Sending my level 5 to graveyard. Sending this guy, which will go to the top of my extra deck. So I'm going to special summon it so I can actually summon my extra deck. There you go. To then summon him. Now, the reason I did that is it gets him on field with these other two because these two have already used their effects. So, Chef is then going to activate. Because it was tributed, I can then place it back into my pendulum zone. I have to do it this way for some reason because it won't allow me to put it there anyway. Oh no, ignore me, it has to be on field, so this goes back to the extra deck. This is why we read our cards. Okay, we have the Ash Blossom, we have these interruptions, and then on end phase, this is going to activate, which is going to put the recipe card to the bottom of the deck. And let's put back a prayers to the bottom of the deck. And then I draw one. Okay, so we have a card for next turn, a interruption, and a mirror. So, this just gives you an idea of what you can do. As you saw by my extra deck, we could have gone into IP, then SP. We had Dynamondo, as well as a couple other cards. So this is just a very basic rundown of what this card can look at. Let's do a reset and try a different time. So this is the hand we get this time. Okay, this is more Nouvelle based, but it is doable. So in draw phase, we can activate Cunnery. Cunnery will then summon her to the opponent's side of the field. For some reason, it won't let me summon it into their facing the way, so just imagine that's on the opponent's field. And then since we've got this in hand, this does summon one from hand, deck, and extra deck. So I will special summon this card. And then this goes to graveyard. I will declare its effect. I can add a ritual monster or a recipe card. I will add, let's go with this hand, we want a ritual spell. So we will go with Mitsurugi. We will then reveal Angerbreaker, put it back to the deck, and we will then add, let's add the level 3, and we will then activate editing the level 6 in hand, to then summon, declare the level 3 effect. I get a draw. Okay, not great with the Mitsurugi card in hand, since we haven't got anything else, but okay. We can then set. Now we can't go into extra deck, but we have a card on our opponent's turn, and we have an impan. So on our opponent's turn, we can activate the impan, target a card in the field. Because it's being targeted, this will then get its effect to send to grave and to grave, to then go into grave, go into the level 5. Level 5 will get its effect because it's when it's summoned. You can then add the field spell or book, depending on how you want to do this, and then you have the level 5 ready and to go to summon into a level 6, and the level 6 get Angry Burger out, as when this is summoned via a Nouvelle effect, as you just saw, it gets its quick effect to then go into level 6 and Angry Burger. Not a best hand, but as I said, this is the first turn build. This is just an idea of what the deck does. So one more hand, and we will end the video here. Okay, not the best, but oh well. So what we can do is declare, put this to the bottom of the deck. Then we can add meat recipe to hand. We can then activate rebuting him to summon him. Nope, nope, nope. I have done this completely wrong. Two hand. Sorry, folks. Let me just put this back. This will be bottom of the deck. This adds me a monster, so ignore me while I reset the board state to what it should be. It's a hand. Normal summon. Declare. View. Two hand. Now we do what we did. Tribute to grave. And then, no, you go to grave. I'm too clicker happy, as you can see. Okay, then declare, and declare. So we draw, and then we get to add a Mitsurugi card. With this kind of hand, I'm going to go with Habakiri. And then do Habakiri effect. So I will declare. We will summon. There it is, Sanjin. Triple Sanjin. Declare. We will add ritual to hand. We will then activate ritual. From hand, we will send Argent RMS and this one to grave. To then summon him. Declare and declare. This will be engraved. We will then add this to hand. And then let's add, it adds a monster. So we'll add another Habakiri to hand. As we want to summon from the deck. So we add sending this one from hand to grave to summon, then to grave. We will use the Habakiri effect in grave, declare. We will add mirror to hand. We will activate tribute. No. Grave as well as we will declare its effect. Summoning out. And of course he will summon out. Add. Then go to grave. View and we will add res. So we will set 2 cards in hand. So if you wanted to, we could go into a link. We can go into IP with the Habakiri and the level 1. So we have time to go into an SP for when we do this effect or what you want. Now, the good reason for this is we have 2 cards here which are brilliant. Which is this one, which will add us a card as well as summon one from graveyard, which is helpful. And then we have a target effect, will activate the level 3's effect, so we can then get into the 4 to shuffle cards back, or the 5 to then have the quick effect active. So we have stuff on field. Now, the level 3 and level 4 can target any card, can use any card on field to go into it. The level 5 and level 6 have to use a opponent's monster, please bear that in mind. But this just gives you an idea of what the deck is capable of and can do. Please understand this is a first build. I'm getting used to the deck as well as you saw, I got a little bit ahead of myself when clicking buttons. But this is just an idea. I will get back to you guys with how it goes at my event to let you know what I thought against it going against the new Lunar Knights, going against the Vanquish Soul and other decks at my locals. But that is okay, so this is my Nouvelle Mitsurugi vs Lunar Knights. This is the Lunar Knights players' first turn of playing Lunar Knights. They are going first, and I'll show you how the deck handles against Lunar Knights and how it combos off. So, let's watch. So, as you can see, they have played Foolish Barrel Goods. They are just seeing what they're sending. I have allowed it. I have an Ash Blossom, but I haven't used it. Then I'm doing Lunar Light Perfume. Has been sent, so that is in graveyard ready to do its discard 1 and a Lunar Light. They are now declaring it. And I have allowed it. So they have sent Martin to the graveyard and are searching their deck to see what they're adding. So they're adding Gold Leo. I have ashed on the Master effect. They have normal summoned Leo and are now doing the Leo effect. I think I'm third. Now this is my first time going against Lunar Lights, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect. Looking back, I've ashed a little bit too early, but this is something as duelists we learn from when going against new decks we haven't gone against before. We always might shotgun or drop a hand trap too late. But we will continue watching and see what happens. I already know what the outcome is, but I like to keep it anonymous while we watch. So they've resummoned back Martin and are now XC summoning. They've gone into Brotherhood of the Fire Fierce Tiger King. This duel was done over Discord, hence the usage of the side bit isn't used. Hence it's over a voice chat. So they are declaring Tenki to add a level 4 Beast Warrior from their deck. Put down in the comments when you're watching this before the end and put who do you think would be winning. So they've now activated Lunar Light Masquerade, one of the new Lunar Light supports. Same with Leo. Seems to be helping the deck out quite a bit. Will only take time to see if this deck stays around, or if, like other decks when getting new support, it just fades into the background. As you can see, they have sent Silverhand to the graveyard. I will say this, is it only just me or does Lunar Lights remind you of like a Sailor Moon furry deck? It might just be me. So as you can see, they've activated the chick. So they have chosen extra deck. And chick has now become Leo Dancer. Reptile effect in hand, discarding itself to then discard another Beast Warrior Wing Beast. Pretty good with this deck since they will have discard effects and like to be in the graveyard. They have then sent Black Sheep. And for anyone who plays Lunar Lights, you know they're probably trying to get polymerization to get the fusion out. or add a Lunalite back from their graveyard to their hand. If you have any Lunalite players, please comment down below on how you think they did. Bear in mind, this is the first time they've played the deck. So, Tiger has now been put in the defender zone and activating its effect. A card many people were shocked came off the ban list. But we'll wait and see if that was a good thing or not. And of course you can see they passed turn there. So, draw for turn. Not a bad draw with the purple ritual and with the Magnetama in hand. So I've gone to standby then main. On main phase I've declared Angry Bird's effect. As I said before in the earlier bit when showing you test hands, this allows me to view my deck to basically add a Nouvelle monster from my deck to my grave. Seeing my opponent had response, didn't have response, so I have added the level 1. I have put the level 3 in the pendulum zone. When it's put there, you get to add a Nouvelle card from your deck to your hand. This is a great way to get into the continuous spell or the field spell or into any Nouvelle card that states Nouvelle in its name. As you can see, I went into the field spell. Field spell activation then allows me to get a recipe card. Again, recipe can get me one of the ritual spells or the book. I will have gone for the continuous spell. Activate the continuous spell. Does nothing activation. Place her in the... Oh, no. I misclicked on that one, it seems. Normal summon her. Activate effect on normal summon, which adds me a level 1 ritual monster or a recipe spell. As you can see, I've gone with the recipe spell. Recipe spell effect. Sending the level 8 to summon the level 3. Level 8 and level 3 effect will go off in a sec, as well as book. And then in a sec, the level 3 effect will go off. Oh no, I already did the level 3 effect. Okay, so we add the Havakari from the level 8. There's the level 3 effect. So as you can see, effects happened, which then summons him out due to the fact the rescue book targets. His effect goes off. Of course he minuses life points due to the fact I have ritual summoned. Card has gone trigger because it is a quick effect, which summons out our level 6, sorry. Level 6 effect to get rid of the last monster on his field to bring out Angry Burger. And he decided to go into game 2 as of that. Siding in progress. I did not side, so we will fast forward this bit. Okay, so he's choosing to go first again. And as you can see with this hand, it's a bit better. So you can kind of guess how it goes. Over. Get the fusion. I impact that. My turn. And he admitted defeat on this one, as after I impermed his fusion, his other 2 cards, as you can see, was Strategic Thrust and Polymerization. He couldn't do much with that, and with the kind of hand I had, showing him the Admata after the prayers, with having a Sanjin on field, it wasn't gonna go well for him. I had follow-up plays to go through afterwards, and with no other hand trying to spot the Ash, he decided to admit defeat there. So this just gives you an idea of how the deck goes, and I hope that has been informative to you all, and I'll wait to look for your comments in the comment section down below.